You ready?
I was born ready, Mr. Shelby. Hit it.
Ford v Ferrari is well acted and shot, but the story doesn't engage, making Logan director James Mangold's latest effort something of a slog. There's a scene near the end of Ford v Ferrari where driver Ken Miles heads to the track the night before the legendary endurance race to steady his nerves. There's a similar moment in Rocky the night before his fight with Apollo Creed. Yet by that point in the boxing film, the audience understands Balboa, cares about the character, and is willing him to win. In Ford v Ferrari, there are no such emotions attached to Ken Miles, and 2 hours in, with the finish line still some distance away, you find yourself less willing him to win and more willing the film to end. Which is a shame because as well as being about racing and about two giants of the motor industry going toe-to-toe, Ford v Ferrari is a study of two driving greats, but the film fails to get to the heart of either man. Instead, and a bit like the climactic Le Mans race, Ford v Ferrari goes round and round in circles, eventually reaching a destination, but one that's wholly unsatisfying.
No. Whatever it is, Shell, no. Trust me.
Matt Damon plays Carroll Shelby, a successful driver who gave up the track due to heart issues and who now works behind the scenes in motorsports. This puts him on the radar of Ford, in the midst of a monumental sales slump, with boss Henry Ford II, a commanding Tracy Letts who brings the film to life whenever he's on screen, desperately searching for a way to rejuvenate his company. For Ford's marketing team, Ferrari represents victory and success, so they target the iconic Le Mans race, with plans to defeat the seemingly unbeatable Italian team. They believe Shelby is the man for the job, asking him to build the fastest car in the world in the space of 90 days. What follows is a pretty conventional sports movie. Miles is the maverick pushing the car to its limits while striving for the perfect lap, and Shelby is caught in the middle, appeasing the suits at head office while at the same time trying to control his fiery friend. Trouble is, it's all so very predictable. Miles loses his seat, but you don't think for a second that he won't win it back. Miles is losing the race, but you just know he'll end up winning. What these men achieved in such a short space of time was nothing short of miraculous, but that doesn't necessarily translate into an engaging story. And for much of its punishing runtime, Ford v Ferrari fails to get out of third gear. That said, the racing scenes are shot with real energy and vigor. Director James Mangold and cinematographer Faden Papa Michael putting you in the Ford, then on the track, then between the cars, making for some exhilarating driving sequences. But Le Mans is 24 hours of drivers speeding in circles, which doesn't make for exciting cinema. And while the filmmakers try to inject some suspense into the race's bizarre climax, the checkered flag arrives with a whimper rather than a bang. Of the leads, Damon has little to do as Shelby aside from being likably determined, which he achieves without breaking a sweat. Bale has the more showy role as Miles, and he's convincing as a genius behind the wheel and a bit of a clown when not. But whether it's on Bale or the screenwriters, we never truly get a sense of what makes Ken Miles tick, nor what drives him to keep putting his life on the line for the sake of a race.
Out there is the perfect lap. You see it?
Like a race car without an engine, Ford v Ferrari looks good on the surface but fails to motor for its 150 minutes. There's fun to be had watching the Ford executives clash, and the driving scenes are shot with real artistry and skill, but they're interspersed with scenes of true inertia. So while Le Mans might be the most exciting race on the planet, as we're told over and over again ad infinitum, a film about that race is a very different proposition. With Ford v Ferrari lacking urgency and thrills, it instead simply chugs along in underwhelming fashion. For more reviews, check out what we thought of Joker and The Lighthouse, and as always, be sure to follow and subscribe wherever you like to watch IGN.